Hello, and welcome to Life as It Is with me, Dora Middleton. In this segment today, I would like to talk about being a seer. And what I mean by being a seer, it's like you have the power to see things before it happens. I don't use the word psychic because I don't like to use the word psychic. I don't consider myself a psychic. That's just a word I don't like. And I have my daughter here with me as well because she has the same ability to do what I can do. And if I'm going to be honest, which I am always honest, my whole family has they all actually have the same ability, whether they see it the way I see it. Like I'm just, right in front of my face. I don't have to do anything to see it. I just see it instantly. My daughter sees it in her sleep. And the rest of my family basically does it the same way. They get visions in their sleep. Me, I can see it whether I'm asleep or awake or just sitting there watching television. It's there. Even if I don't want it to be there, it's there. So, my segment today is about how people feel when they come into contact with people like that. And what I mean is there's a lot of people out there that does have an issue with being around people that can see those type of things because they have a fear of it. They have a fear of knowing what their future might hold for them. And there's times where without me knowing it and not doing it on purpose, I've talked to someone and told them something that was going to take place. And when it happened, they came to me and they were so frightened and they say, no, don't tell me my future anymore. Don't, and I'm like, okay, but it's not something that you just, it just happens. I can't turn it on. I can't turn it off. I can remember when I first started, being able to see things or understand what I was seeing because it came to me in a very early age. But I believe when I was about 14 is when I remember my praying, asking God to remove that ability to do those things because I didn't understand what I was seeing. And to be honest, it was frightening me. But the more I prayed to not be able to have these visions, the more they came, the stronger they got. And finally, I was like, okay, I might as well accept the gift that God has given me because the more I try to get it away, the stronger they become. So since the age of 14, like I said, 14, 15 years old, I've been able to see things. And I can basically tell you anything you need to know if you're willing to hear it and if you're not afraid to hear it. And don't get me wrong, it's not always something bad. Oh, I see a lot of good things about people. But you get the good and you get the bad. You are unable to sort. Basically, you can't just see only good and nothing bad. So you have to accept everything that God is showing you. So if it's something that you don't want to see, you're going to see it regardless. So that's what this segment is about. I want to talk about how people feel when they know that you can do things like that, because I know I've come across a lot of people that didn't believe that I was able to do things like that. So they tend to test you a lot, which is funny because I'm like, what would you like to know? Because they would say, okay, well, tell me. And it's funny. They say things like, what did I do this morning? What did I this and what did I that? And the funny thing is when I tell them everything down to the amount of money they have in their wallet or their purse, then they're freaked out because they don't understand how I know. I've told people things that happened in their childhood that no one knows but them and their parents. And I believe that, I think God gives everyone some type of special gift, whether it's the gift of being a seer or something else. I think he works through all of us. And who knows, I could have been, put here to help others because I do help others. My daughter has been seeing things that she started seeing them at a very, very young age. And it used to frighten her. She was like 5 years old when she started seeing things. And she called them her movies in her head. And I can recall waking up and she's standing there asking me to pray with her because she was seeing these movies in her head. And I kind of laughed because I'm like, I know what she's seeing because I started seeing things at a very early age. So I knew exactly what was going on. You know, my mom could see things, her mom could see things, my sisters see things. So basically, it's like I come from a family of seers, you know, so she has seen a lot that did happen. And she also is able to see people that has passed away as well as I can. I can tell anyone about any family member that I wouldn't even know because I don't know the people, but their family will come to me that has passed over, and I can give them the messages that their family would like for them to get, you know, give them these messages. I think a lot of people probably really wouldn't be able to handle the things that I've seen, you know, and I don't think they could handle this, period. Because at the beginning I couldn't. At the age of 14, no, I couldn't. I was so scared. But now I see it and I just keep on with my life, you know. And because I've accepted the fact that God has given me the gift to be able to do that, to basically help others. So I can recall a time when my daughter came to me, and actually I can let her tell you what she came to me and said. And it was just so weird to me. I was like, oh wow, she saw it. Everything that happened, she saw it. And she came to me before it even happened, and she told me, and it happened exactly that way. And when I told my daughter about what happened, it was crazy, because we thought that because my daughter drove this kind of like it was the same color truck. So I went to my oldest daughter and I was like, be careful, this is what she saw. But it turned out to be my sister, her truck that her son actually flipped in. And I will actually go ahead and let her tell you the story about what she saw. And of course, it's my daughter. She's older now, but Haley is also able to see things, and she's still kind of getting used to it, but I'm pretty sure it'll end up just like me, you know. She'll get used to it and she won't be afraid of it anymore. But please welcome Haley in this segment, just to tell you just this little tidbit about what she saw that day.
Hi. Well, that day I was asleep. It kind of came like a movie, not on the TV, but you know. And the car, it was like kind of at a red light in front of a store, but and then I saw it flip. So I got scared. So I told my mom, and then she told my sister, my aunt. After it happened, 'cause I was like, whoa, and I still kind of remember it too. It's kind of weird.
Okay, so she's shy. Basically, what she told me was she saw what she thought was her oldest sister driving this truck. She thought that was who was in it because it looked like it was her truck. And she said, Mom, call her because I saw her truck flipping over. And I called my daughter. I was like, again, be careful. She said she saw your truck flipping over. She didn't see you being hurt or anything, but she did see it flipping over. And next thing you know, I get a call. Even the call was from my sister. And she said, yeah, my son was driving my truck and it flipped. He flipped over several times, but he's okay. So it happened right after she told me that. And I was like, wow, okay. So it kind of freaked her out a little bit. There's been a lot of things that I I have been able to see, like I said, you see the good, you see the bad. It's not always good what you see, but you have to be honest and tell the people what you see. That's why I say, and I tell people, don't ask me questions if you don't want the answers, because if you ask me something, I'm going to tell you and I'm going to be honest about it. So a lot of people are afraid, and I know when they're afraid to talk to me because Hello and welcome back to Life as It Is with me, Dora Middleton. I had to take a brief break. What we were talking about is the fact that I am able to see things. I call it a seer. Some people call it psychic, but I prefer to use the word seer. Before the break, I was saying how I know when people feel uncomfortable, when they are afraid to hear what I have to say. And one thing about me is if you are afraid to hear it, I won't say a word to you. That's why I tell people again, be sure when you ask me questions that you really want the answers to whatever you're asking. For one, I'm not going to tell you a lie, number one. And number two, I'm not going to candy coat anything. So I'm going to tell you the exact way that I see it. So a lot of people ask questions, and then when I start telling them, they get afraid. They start shaking. I've had people, I know when they want to cry because I feel it. So I don't know if you guys understand when a person that's psychic, or as I say, when you're a seer, you feel what these people are feeling. Even if the person has a headache, you may feel that headache. If they want to cry, it feels like you want to cry when you know you don't want to cry. So you're feeling what they feel. So, I know when a person is afraid and too afraid to hear something. So I'll tell them I just won't tell them anything. That's why the first thing I tell people when they ask me questions, like I said, I would ask them, are you sure that you want to hear what I have to say? So I've talked to a lot of people. People do come to me. You would be surprised. People have had children that has been killed, and I've helped them actually solve solve these things that happen with their family members. And I actually had someone contact me, and the person was able to find out that as a child he had been kidnapped. The people he was living with was not really his parents. So I mean, there's a lot of things that you see. And it's weird. It's just so weird that I still to this day think, wow, it's so weird. How was I the one given this ability to see things like this? Like I said, my family does see it, but not the way I see it. I mean, I see every detail of everything. And it's still weird sometimes, and it drains you. It will drain my energy. I remember, which I can see things about myself as well. I can. But for some strange reason, when I'm seeing things about myself, or if I'm trying to see things pertaining to me, it drains. It's like it sucks my energy out. So sometimes rather than try to see it for myself, I in the past, I have not done this in years, but in the past, I can remember my cousin calling me, and I said, you know what, we were talking, and she said, well, since you're always the one telling people what you see, how about you let someone else tell you what they see? I said, okay, cool. So of course I was in my 20s at the time. She said, let's call a psychic. So we called the 900 psychic. I have to laugh about that, but we did call. So I asked the lady, I said, well, I was wondering if you could give me a reading. She said, oh, is this a joke? I said, excuse me? She said, well, is this a joke? You're just trying to see if I can see things? You're a seer. You see things better than me and a lot of other people. You don't need anyone to tell you anything. So you're just trying to see if I'm real. I'm like saying to myself, I said, ma'am, that's not true. I'm actually calling to get a reading. She said, no, I'm not. I can't even. First of all, you're too blocked off. for me to be able to read you like that. She said, no one's ever really going to be able to read you. And I'm like, I'm trying to tell her I'm not blocking off anything. I actually want to read it. No, you're just playing games with me. And she literally hung up on us. And I was like, oh, wow. Okay. But what I have found out is that you really have to be good to be able to see anything about me, because for some strange reason, it is blocked off. It's nothing personally that I'm doing. I don't even understand it myself, but you can't get in there enough to even tell me anything about myself. So I've never tried to do it anymore, because I'm like, it's a waste of time because no one can do it. So, that was my experience with calling a psychic line. It was funny though, because we laughed so hard that day. I said, she just hung up on me. She thought I was playing, but I was not playing. I was being honest. I just wanted a reading. So again, if there's something I want to see, I'll see it for myself. And yes, I can see into my own future. I mean, I know that sounds weird, but I can, and I can see into yours and anyone else. I can give you if, for instance, if you wanted to know something about one of your family members or friends or even your pets that's passed on, I can tell you anything and everything you want to know. Like I was there, like I knew these people. I can tell you anything about these people and your pets. And it's crazy. It really is. I mean, I could tell you things that I've told people, but of course I can't do that because that's their own personal readings. But I have to be honest. I'm very good at what I do, and I thank God for giving me the ability to help people, because I have helped people, and I'm going to continue to help people, in any way possible. But the thing is, I can only help you if you want to be helped. So if you're afraid to hear what I have to say, then please don't ask me. And that's what I tell people. Don't ask me if you're afraid to hear. If you contact me and you want to know something, I'm not like most people you see on these bogus psychic lines, and they need your birthday. They need your first name, last name. They need everything that identifies you. When you are a true seer, you don't need anything. I don't need your name. I don't need to see you. I don't need to know anything about your family. I don't need your age. I'm not playing around with your horoscopes. All you have to do is tell me you want to know what's going on in your life. Either things from the past, present, future, whatever it is. And I can tell you, I will tell you like I'm reading it from a paper, because that's how good I am. I don't need to know anything. And when people have asked me questions and they've gotten ready to try to tell me their birthdays, I tell them, stop. Don't even bother. I don't need your names. I don't need your birthday. I don't need anything. Just listen. And if I don't tell you what you want, what you were actually trying to contact me about, then ask the specific question, which usually all the time I tell them that what they wanted to know and a lot of other stuff. So I don't need you to ask any questions. Just tell me hey, all you have to do is say, Dora, can you tell me what you see about my life? And I'm going to tell you everything I see, and I'm not going to hold anything back. So you're going to get the good, the bad, the ugly, whatever it is, you're going to get it all. And, people appreciate it. I've had the people where they've had messages from their parents that just passed away, because these spirits will literally walk up to me face to face and give me these messages to tell their family. I know it would freak most people out. When I was doing it as a child, it would freak me out, And what really kind of freaked me out is when I could tell these readings with these animals. And you know what's weird about the whole thing with the animals? When I'm giving readings and someone wants to know about their animals, when I'm getting these messages from these animals. You know how we hear the little barking and the purrs? When it comes through to me, I hear voices. I hear real human voices coming from these animals. I know that sounds crazy, but when I'm giving these readings about these animals, they're talking to me. These animals that these people want to know about, but it's coming through as human. And when these people ask me, how do you do that? How did you know that my pet died from that? How did you know that my animal had that surgery? Because I see it. And this animal came to me and told me so. You know what I'm saying? And people stop and say, please tell me, how are you doing this? How do you see this? I said, I see it as well as I'm talking to you right now. I'm sitting here and I can see it like it's playing like a movie. So basically, I'm just seeing it right in front of me. Even if I'm watching television and you ask me a question, that television can be on, but I'm still going to see everything I need to see about you. It's weird, but it's real. And I was born that way. I was born to do it. And I stopped fighting it when I was about 14 to 15 because, like I said, the more I prayed not to be able to do it, the more it came. So I accepted it. I accepted the gift that God gave me because that couldn't have been from anywhere but God. So I accepted it and I deal with it. So that's why I decided to do this segment on being a seer. And again, for anyone that's tuning in late, some people say psychic, I say seer. I don't like the whole psychic word. I'm not playing with any tarot cards or rocks or anything else that these people play with. I do not have time for that. I don't do anything. What I tell you, what I see, comes straight from me. I see it in front. I just see it. It's here. Okay? I don't have to play with anything, any kind of rocks or cards or boards or anything else. God has given me the ability to be a seer, and that's how I see things. So that's why I wanted to do this segment on visions, because that's what it is, these visions. And I enjoy helping people, and I've helped a lot of people. I can recall my oldest daughter telling me one time, and she had a coworker where his son was having these issues and saying that he was seeing things and this and that, and the father didn't understand what was going on. The mother just thought he was going through some things. I think he was about 5 years old. And when my daughter told me what the father said was happening, I knew what was going on. Even before she really got into it, I'm like, oh, he's seeing these visions and they're coming to him and he's so young, he doesn't understand. So I just told him what he told my daughter to let him call me, to have him call me. So he called me and I talked to him and I told him what he needed to do to help his son relax and to help him rest because the little boy was not sleeping. That's how afraid he was. So, it made me feel good to the point that I was able to help this child, because without that, they wouldn't have known what to do. And he thanked my daughter. He really thanked her because I helped his son. And to my knowledge, he was doing very well. I'm really curious to know how he's doing now that he's a little older, because those were visions he was having. So I'm pretty sure, he's seeing a lot now. He was 5, before. So it's been several years later. I believe about 4 years later, 4 or 5 years later. I'm just so curious to know how he's dealing with that ability, because it doesn't just, it's not going to turn off. It's only going to get stronger. So that I'm curious about. I was just recently talking to my daughter about that, because I was saying, I really wonder how he's doing now, but I'm sure he's fine. But so I've had people ask me, are you afraid to let people know that you have this ability to see things? No, I'm not afraid. No, I'm not afraid, and I'm not embarrassed. I'm not going to be afraid or embarrassed of something that God gave me, and he gave me the gift to be able to see things to help other people. So no, I'm not. I can recall a woman telling me one day, because she asked me to tell her some things about herself, and I did. And she said, I wish I could be as strong as you and come out and tell people that I have that same gift. She said, but I'm afraid. She said she was afraid of what people would think about her. I have never been the type of person to give a damn about how people think about me. How you feel about me does not make or break me. I don't care. And I tried to explain to her, don't hide who you are just because you feel people may talk about you. People have been talking about people talking behind your back. It didn't just start. So you shouldn't care. Be who you are. And I've met people over the years, including men, that has told me that their parents told them that they were crazy and stop saying they're seeing things. No, they're not crazy. They're actually seeing things. And why would you tell your child that? That's why people suppress those things, and that's why they end up having issues, because no one's believing what they can do. I don't know if these people's parents didn't believe that God would give someone such a gift, but yes, there's people out there, a lot of people out there like this. Okay, but a lot of people are afraid to talk about it. So me personally, I'm not. Okay, I think that it's a good thing because, again, I get to help people. I get to help my family. I get to help people in general. So I don't have a problem with that. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, you don't always see good things, but that's not how it works. It just does not turn off when there's bad things. I mean, you're going to see the good and the bad and the ugly. I mean, it happens that way. That's why I say I believe that God gives that type of this type of ability to people that he knows is strong enough to deal with it. Because I know some people probably would lose their minds if they saw half the things that I've seen, And I tell people that because I've seen some things. But that's life, It's a blessing. I think it's a blessing to me, because I'm helping people. But I need to take a brief break, and I will be right back. Hello, and welcome back to Life as It Is with me, Dora Middleton. And in this segment, I've been talking about being a seer. And for all of you that don't know what a seer is, some call it a psychic. I don't like to be called a psychic. I rather say a seer. But that's what I've been talking about in this segment. What I actually would like to say is, for anyone that listens to this segment that does have the ability to do what it is that I do, come out and be yourself. Don't hide. You're not some type of freak. God gave you this ability for a reason. And if you're not using it, then you're not helping the people the way that you should. Because I believe that I was given the gift to do this, to be able to help others. So I know you might be afraid of what you're seeing. You might be afraid to help people. You might be afraid of what people may think about you. But remember, don't ever let someone make you feel like you're doing something wrong or be ashamed of yourself because you're a certain way. What people think about you does not keep you breathing every day. It does not help you live your life. So what others think about you does not matter. It's what you think about yourself. Okay. So always remember that. And I just want to make sure that you all know. Again, the reason why I did this segment is because I just wanted to put it out there, because a lot of people do know that I am able to see things. I've talked to people from around the world. So, and I enjoyed these, you meet so many new people, and I've enjoyed meeting these people, and I've enjoyed helping these people. I think the only thing that I've run into is people get so comfortable with me basically telling them about their lives and what to expect and how to handle it, to some of them have grown to feel that they cannot make any life decisions without contacting me. You don't have to do that. You don't need me there every second, every minute, every hour. That's not what I'm there for. Now, I am there to help you. So if you need my help, I'm there to give it. But you don't have to come to me before you do anything, because now you're basically saying, okay, I can't do this in my life without coming to you first. No. For one, I'm not God, number one. Number two, I'm here to help you. Okay? If you need any kind of help, I'm here. But don't feel that you have to talk to me before doing anything. That's not the way it works. If you're afraid to do something, if you think that there's some kind of danger in something that you might be thinking about doing, that's something different. If you feel you need to come to me and see what is in store for you with the situation, then I will let you know. But just don't feel that you have to get my approval in your life before making any decisions. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to help you. So if you need help, I'm here. But I'm not here I can't hold your hand throughout your whole life and tell you, well, no, you can't do this because this, and the other. You have to learn. You have to live. Okay? You have to live. Now, if there's something that, if you're in some type of danger, of course, I'll let you know. But you got to live. You have to live your life. You cannot depend on me to hold your hand through life. Okay? That's not how it works. I'm not here for that. I'm here to help you, but I'm not here to hold your hand. You have to let go and you have to live and just accept your life as it comes. Now, again, if there's anything that you need to know, I will be the first one to tell you, because I would never let anything happen to anyone. If I saw anything bad coming your way, of course, I'm going to tell you, but you don't need your hand held. You need to go ahead and live your life and take it as God is sending it to you. If it's something I can help you with, I'm there. But like I stated earlier, just be yourself. Be free. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to tell people that you have the ability to see, that you're a seer, that you're psychic, or whatever way you want to put it. Don't get me wrong. Now, I will say this much. Please do not compare me to tarot card readers, people that play with these rocks, or whatever else they might be doing. Their crystal balls. I'm not a part of any of that. Okay? I don't do any of that. I see what God wants me to see. I don't have to play with any kind of balls or rocks or cards to see anything. So don't please do not compare me to people that do that. And I'm not knocking those people. If that's the way they do things, hey, do you. But don't put me in a category with those people, because I'm far from that type of person. That's not what I do. What I do is a gift that God has given me. Okay, that's what I'm doing. I'm using the gift that God has given me to help others. And I'm not someone that's playing with horoscopes. I don't do that either. I don't know anything, to be honest. I don't know anything about horoscopes. Okay, I don't read up on that stuff. I'm not into that. So don't think otherwise. But I just wanted to clarify all of that. Okay, so it has been a pleasure speaking with you all in this segment about being a psychic seer, whichever way you would like to put it. I say seer, you might say psychic, same thing, but I just don't like the word psychic. So I call myself a seer. But I do appreciate you all taking the time out to listen to this segment. Again, as I stated before, if you have any questions, feel free to send me a message. My email is on there. And until next time, I would like to thank you for joining me on Life as It Is with me, Dora Middleton, and take care.